Every day I see her. At first I thought she was just another face in the crowd. The girl who passed by my office window, always walking the same path at the same time, every day. She had a pale face, unkempt hair, and eyes that seemed vacant. But what bothered me most wasn't her appearance. It was the way she never looked anywhere but straight ahead, as though the world didn't exist around her. I don't know when I first noticed her. It could have been a week ago, a month, or maybe more. Time had started to blur, but the image of her, always walking that same street, never glancing in my direction, her eyes empty, stayed with me. It was harmless at first, right? Just another city dweller going about her business. Yet there was something off about her presence. Something that gnawed at me. Something that made me want to look at her again and again, to track her every move, to see if there was a change. But there wasn't. She was the same every day. My name is Lucas. I'm a 28-year-old man working in a nondescript office building downtown. It was a quiet, repetitive life. Wake up, go to work, go home, rinse, repeat. Most of my days were filled with the hum of spreadsheets and endless meetings. Life was boring, predictable, the kind of life I had gotten used to. That all changed one day, on a Wednesday, just like any other. I'd been working late, sitting at my desk when I first saw her. She appeared, like clockwork, walking down the street below my office window. For some reason, that day, I couldn't take my eyes off her. Her face was expressionless, but her movements were deliberate, purposeful, and I knew, deep in my gut, that I had seen her before, but when, where? She was wearing a white dress that seemed too clean for the weather, like it had been freshly pressed, and she carried nothing, no purse, no bag, not even a phone. She walked past as usual, but something about her felt different. Her gait was slower, more deliberate, and there was an eerie sense of stillness about her. I blinked and she was gone. The next day I saw her again. And the next. And the next. I couldn't stop looking. She had become a fixture in my life, an obsession I couldn't shake off. Every day, at exactly the same time, she would walk past the building, but no matter how many times I looked, she never acknowledged me or anyone else. She just walked, always forward. It became a strange ritual for me. I would finish my work, check the clock, and wait for her to appear. Sometimes I would sit by the window and watch, hypnotized by her motion, wondering who she was and why she didn't seem to notice the world around her. Eventually, I started to see things that weren't there. Shadows in the corner of my office, fleeting glimpses of her silhouette out of the corner of my eye. My mind was playing tricks, I told myself. But then things began to escalate. It happened on a Friday night. I had stayed late in the office again, finishing up some reports. I was exhausted but couldn't shake the feeling that I had to see her one more time. It had become almost necessary, like my day couldn't end without it. I left my office, making my way down the stairwell to the street. There, just as I had imagined, she was walking toward me at the same pace, with that same empty look on her face. But this time, something was different. I wasn't on the second floor of the office building anymore. I was standing on the street. On the same street. I had walked outside without even realizing it. My hands shook as I stepped into her path. I should have turned back. I should have stopped, but I didn't. I stood there frozen. She walked closer, and when she passed me, something strange happened. Her eyes, vacant as ever, locked onto mine for just a second. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. Her lips parted. A soft whisper, almost too quiet to hear. "Help me." And then she was gone. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying the moment in my head. Help me. What did that mean? Why did she say that to me? I couldn't shake the feeling that I was connected to her somehow. She was reaching out, but why? The next day, I did something I'd never done before. I researched her. I spent hours looking through social media, trying to find any trace of her. There was no name, no record of her, and certainly no explanation. It was as if she didn't exist. But then I stumbled across a local news article from a few years ago. A woman had been reported missing, a woman who matched her description. The article was brief, but it mentioned that the case had gone cold. Her name was Eleanor Bennett, a young woman who had vanished one night without a trace. The article said nothing about what had happened to her or whether she had been found. But the more I read, the more I began to feel the weight of something terrible on the horizon. Days turned into weeks. I became obsessed with finding out what happened to Eleanor. Every free moment was spent combing through old records, searching for any clue that could explain why she haunted me. And each day she appeared, without fail, always walking past my office, always looking vacant, always silent. But things weren't the same anymore. I began seeing her outside of work too, at the coffee shop, in the grocery store, standing in the park across from my apartment. She was following me, watching me. One night I dreamt of her. In the dream, she stood by my bed, her face inches from mine, whispering over and over, "You didn't help me." When I woke up, my heart was racing. I tried to shake off the dream, but I couldn't. Something inside me felt wrong. I needed to find out what happened to her. I had to know. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't think straight. I knew I had to go back to the place where it all started, the street. I waited there, standing by my office building, hoping for a sign. And there she was, appearing at the same time, just like before. But this time, she wasn't walking. She was standing still, her head tilted at an unnatural angle. "You're too late," she whispered. I tried to speak, to ask her what she wanted, but no words came out. The ground beneath me shifted, and suddenly I was no longer standing on the street. I was somewhere else, somewhere dark. "Eleanor, where are we?" I called out, panic rising in my chest. She didn't answer. She only pointed to a doorway in the distance. I walked toward it, my heart thundering in my chest. As I opened the door, I saw a mirror on the wall, and in that mirror, I saw her reflection, her pale face, empty eyes, and twisted smile. And then I saw myself. It was then that I realized the truth. I had been dead this whole time. I wasn't real. Eleanor had taken my place. I had seen her every day because she had been trying to reach out to me, trying to tell me the truth. I had been the one trapped, the one who couldn't escape. And now she was free.